Uh, let Today let us discuss about Git. What is Git in DevOps? It is one famous tool in DevOps used for source code repository. This one type of source code. Okay. Before getting to Git, let let's look into Git architecture. This is Git architecture. See, Git is mainly used. Git is a open source code repository. Git is mainly used to push the changes into local to remote repository or from remote to remote repositories. How it will be working means it is mainly Git is used for parallel development. Okay, first how the process will be means works mainly first of all we will be creating some files inside our working directory. Then after creating some files we will be adding into staging area. After adding into staging area, then we'll be committing into local repository. From there, we'll be pushing the local repository into remote repository. Now, if you check by using commands means git add. Git add is mainly used to add our files from working directory to staging area. And git commit is used to the files which is added to staging area will be committed into local repository. And by using git push command, we will be checking any incremental changes available in local repository, and it will be pushing the local repository into remote repository by using command git push. And here we have something called git reset. There are three types of labels present in git reset. One is git reset soft, git reset mixed, and git reset hard. We'll discuss about it. And here we have something called git fetch. Git fetch mainly used for it will check for any incremental changes available in our remote repository. Then it will be updated in our local repository, but it never update in working directory. It only update in local repository. And here we have something called git clone or git pull. Git pull also works as same the git fetch, but the basic difference between git fetch and git pull means git pull also check for any incremental changes available in remote repository, and then it will update in the local repository as well as in the working directory. That is the basic difference. Git fetch check for the incremental changes available in the remote repository, but it will only update in local repository. It will never update in working directory. But git pull will update both in local repository and working directory, the incremental changes that are available in our remote repository. And git diff used to check the added files and committed files. Track used to track the added files and committed. And before talking about Git, we have to discuss about version control system. Git comes under distributed version control system. Version control system is nothing but it is used to version control file changes using version number, tag, commit ID. By using the version number or tag or commit, we can control the file changes. It is used to track the file changes. As we discussed, it is used to perform parallel development. And here we have the various types of version control systems are local version control system, central version control system, distributed version control system. It comes under what's distributed version control system. What is the local version control system means? Local version control system maintains track of files within the local system. Means it will maintain the track of changes within the locally. And all the changes in the files are tracked under the centralized server. Inside the centralized server. And we have something called distributed version control system. What we have to discuss about it. Git is a open source distributed version control system. It is a version control system that file changes using version number, tag, or commit. It is used to track the file changes. It is used to perform parallel development. Okay. What is the actual task of using Git? Developers workload, create the source code, new project. Source code will be present in our local machine. That is local repository. Pushing the new project source code into remote server. Source code will be available in local repository. It will be pushing into remote repository. Then project enhancement and bug fixing. Bug fixing is nothing but is there any failures or the mistakes available in our source code which we have developed. Source code will already present in remote server. Okay. Clone the source code. Git clone is used to source code from remote, copy the source code from remote repository to local machine. And it will make the necessary changes, push back into remote server. Okay. And if you talk about Git workflow, how Git workflow will work means, first of all, before getting it, let's discuss about git init. Git init command used to initialize local Git repository. It will initialize the local Git repository. If you observe in architecture, this is our local working directory or local repository. Here it will initialize our local repository. Okay. Then it will create a Git directory, a default Git directory. Okay. Inside it will be present a default master. Okay. Master mainly it will be master local machine. From local machine, how the process will be going means, we'll be adding one file by using command git add. First, we will be creating some files like we have given some file 1.txt. Otherwise, g.v.d.txt, g.v.d.kr. In that way, we will be creating some files. Then we will be adding the files which we have created from working directory to staging area by using command git add, followed by file name. And the files which we have added from working directory to staging area, that files will be committed from staging area to local repository using command git commit -m followed by commit message. Git commit -m followed by the commit message. And we'll be pushing by using git push command. We'll be pushing it from local repository to remote repository. See, we'll be adding files from working directory to staging area by using add command. Then we will be adding the files which we have added into staging area will be moved into local repository by using git commit command. Then we will be pushing the local repository into remote repository using git push command. This is how Git workflow will be working. Yeah. Let us discuss about some commands in Git. Git clone. Git clone is used to copy the remote repository into local machine. The purpose of using Git clone is it is used to clone or copy. Means it will take one copy of a repository which is present in our local machine, and it will be pushed. If we take the copy of the repository from our remote repository, then it will be pushing into copying into local repository. That is the purpose of using git clone. It is used to clone or copy the remote repository into local machine. And git fetch. It is used to, as we have discussed, it is used to check if there is any incremental changes available in remote repository. If there is any incremental changes available in remote repository, it will just update the changes in local repository. It will never update in the working directory, as we discussed. Git fetch. It will update the changes available in the remote repository to the local repository, never update in the working directory. But git pull will update both in working directory as well as local repository, the incremental changes that are present inside our remote repository. That is the basic difference between git fetch and git pull. Git init, used to initialize the local Git repository. Git status, it will check for the current status of Git repository, whether what are the files to be committed and what are the files available in the staging area, all will be available, will be showing by giving command git status. And I have some other commands like git add. Git add, use it to add the changes from working directory to staging area. Git commit, use it to permanently commit the changes from staging area to local repository. Git clone, we already use it to clone or copy the entire remote repository into local machine or repository. Git fetch or pull, the basic. Git flow, yeah, git flow, use it to clone or copy the entire remote repository to another remote repository. This is the basic difference. That's why I jumped by skipping these two commands. I already discussed about these two commands also. Git fork and git clone both work as same, but git clone is used to clone or copy the entire remote repository into local machine or local repository. Git fork is used to copy the entire remote repository, but into another remote repository and tracking the changes. Who, when, and why. Yeah, here we will be providing some information. Okay, the basic difference between Git configuration local and global means Git configuration global Git config followed by -f global username. We will be giving some name, like I have given my name, and I have given some dummy email ID. And here also in local config also I have given some name and some dummy email ID. The difference between local config and the global config is, in local config will be going, the process will be going within the repository, within the local repository, but in global it will be available in public. That is the basic difference. Git log followed by -f one line will give the user to get the list of commits and history. What are the commits we have performed till now under the history? What are the changes we have done? Will be available by giving command git log -f one line. Git command, some other Git commands. Git diff, we have already used that. Use it to track the changes in working directory and committed in the committed files. It will be tracking the file changes in the working directory and committed files. Git ignore. Ignore is ignore. Ignore is nothing but to avoid. Okay. Git ignore is used in the Git main Git to stop the tracking a file that is currently tracked or used to remove a particular file. In other words, in simple words, we can get git ignore file is the file that tells the git which files or folders to ignore in a particular project from the index. Why we'll be using this command means, see, we'll be committing the changes to the same file. Okay, in order to avoid a file to be committing multiple times, to avoid that process, we will be using git ignore. If you are performing a tracking, we will be tracking or committing the file which is already committed. Then in order to stop that committing of that file, we'll be using this git ignore. Okay, a git ignore file is that tells the git which files are folder to ignore in a project. Okay, and git revert and reset. Yeah, git reset removes the change. Yeah, first we have to discuss about, I have already told you that git reset contains three subdivisions: soft, mixed, hard. What these three will be doing means, first we will discuss about reset. It just remove the commits based on the reset point. These are some points. These are 3 points. It will never create a new commit to track the changes. Hence, it is not recommended to use reset in shared repository. Means if you are sharing any repository from remote to remote or from local to remote, it is not recommended to use reset. What reset is doing means, it will just remove the commits based on the reset point. Based on the point what we will be giving, it will be removing the changes, commits based on the reset point. What is the difference between reset soft, mixed, hard means? Git soft removes the changes from local repository. Changes will be back to staging area. It will never remove the changes from working directory. Git reset command remove the changes from local repository and staging area. It will never remove the changes. Sorry, inconvenience. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. By using git reset mix, it will remove the changes from local repository and staging area. It will not remove the changes from working directory. Git reset, it removes the changes from local repository, staging area, as well as from working directory. Okay, mainly reset is used to remove the changes based on the commit based. I will show you from the architecture once. Wait. Yeah, git reset command. Something in the system. Yes. See, by giving git reset soft, it will remove the file from local repository. It will never remove from staging area. By giving command git, by giving command, by giving command git reset mix, it will remove the file from local repository as well as from staging area. It will never delete from working directory. By giving git reset hard command, iframe hard, it will remove the repository, it will remove the file from local repository, staging area, as well as from working directory. Okay. On revert, here we have something called revert. Revert. Git revert. It is used to window a specific commit. It will. It is used to window specific commit. It will create a new commit point to track the changes. Every time you will commit a revert command, it will create a new point to track the changes. It will revert. It revert recommended you to share repositories. Okay. Shared repositories. While we are using shared repositories, it is recommended to use git revert command. Git merge branching techniques. Why we will be using git branching techniques? First of all, it is used for parallel development. Can be achieved using branches. B, by default, we'll be having one branch. Then we will be creating some sub branches like future one, future two, or branch two, branch three, whatever may be. Okay. Then after we'll be then what we're going to do means Git branching strategies. The main goal of using Git branching strategy is to maintain the integrity of master branch. Okay, the purpose of using this branch strategy is to maintain the integrity of master branch. See, have created some files. I have committed some files in my branch one, master branch. Then I have created some file. I have committed some files in my master branch, and I have committed some other files in my future one, and I have committed another some files in my future two. Then I tried to all the changes from future one to branch to master by using merge command, git merge command. I have committed. I have this is what we call as parallel development. The strategy, git branching strategy. By using git merge command, all the changes from future one branch to master. All the changes from future two branch to master. This is called parallel development. Can be achieved using branches. Okay. Git merge. Git merge command used to merge the changes from one branch to another. This command should be executed from target branch. Yeah. If you observe, branch is our default branch and the branch is the target branch. And we are using some other branches like feature one, feature two, or branch one, branch two, whatever may be the name. Then using git merge command will be merging the changes from one branch to another branch. And in some cases, in some scenarios, if you talk, I am under some other stranger. If you talk, see, I am the one developer, and there is another person who is stranger to me. He is also one developer. He have we two are working on same platform like a Git tool, and he has created some files with the name which I have created with the he has just committed, and I too committed with the same file name. But what if I don't know that I have created with the file with the particular name, and he too don't know because he too stranger to me. Then in that scenarios there is chance of there will be merge conflict. During merge conflict, when more than one user or future tried to update the same record in the same file, merge conflict occurs. See, that's what we are telling. Two different persons have created same record or same files, the merge conflict is going to occur. How to fix merge conflict? Identify the files that is causing good. Then we will be giving some commit message, merge conflict resolved. Git commit -m followed by commit message. Update the file required, add committing changes to commit changes in target branch. Detailed review should be done before the merge and ensure there is no merge conflict. There should not be a merge conflict. Okay, we have to solve it. Git rebase and git stash. Git rebase is used to keep the current branch in sync with target branch. See, current branch, if you consider current branch as master, it is continuously in sync with target branch. That is what is the importance of using git rebase. It is used to keep the current branch in sync with target branch. And we have something called here git stash. Using git rebase will maintain the linear community history. It will maintain one history between the target branch and the current branch. Git stash used to combine more than one commit in a single commit point. Okay, if you want to commit the changes for more than one or some multiple files, we'll be using git stash. Used to combine more than one commits in a single point of commit point. Okay, git stash. Git stash are some subdivisions in git stash. Git stash, all uncommitted changes are moved to temporary place. Yeah. While if you leave some changes, some incremental changes which to be committed, all the changes which are uncommitted will be shown by giving git stash command. Okay, git stash apply. Here we have something called git stash apply. Just use it to apply the latest changes from stash list to staging area. Yeah, git stash pop. Use it to apply the latest changes from stash list to as well as remove it from stash list. Use it to apply from latest changes from stash list. It will apply the latest changes from stash list as well as remove it from stash list. It will apply the latest changes from stash list which are present, and then it will be remove it from stash list. Git stash drop. Use it to delete the latest changes from stash list. Git stash clear. Use it to clear or clean up the stash list. Okay. And conclusion. Git is an open source tool used for file development, as we have discussed. Git is a source code repository used to track the changes easily. We can easily push or pull repositories from local to remote or remote to remote using Git. We can share files and folders using Git. It is an open source tool.